3 weeks now, Travis Decker has evaded capture despite an intense search going on in Chelan and Kittitas counties.
We're still assisting Kittitas County Sheriff's Office as they're conducting their search on the northern end of their county that butts up the southern end around Blewett Pass 97. And then we continue to also allocate our resources from swiftwater rescue, looking at the Icicle River.
It was supposed to be a peaceful camping trip, a 3-hour visit, a short escape into the woods with Dad. But just 48 hours later, the girls were dead, and their father? Gone without a trace. This is the story of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker, 3 sisters from Washington State, and their father, Travis Decker, a decorated Army veteran, a man with demons, and now, the most wanted man in the Pacific Northwest. May 30th, 2025, Wenatchee, Washington. Whitney Decker loaded her 3 daughters into the car for what was supposed to be another routine court-ordered visit. It was Travis's weekend, a 3-hour supervised visit that had become the norm since the couple's messy divorce just a few months earlier. She kissed her daughters goodbye, Peyton, age 9, Evelyn, 8, and Olivia, just 5. The girls were excited. Dad was taking them to Rock Island Campground. S'mores, tents, stories under the stars. Whitney would never see them alive again. Travis had picked the location himself. Just under 2 hours from their Wenatchee home, Rock Island Campground was tucked in a gorge near the Columbia River, beautiful, isolated, and quiet. Too quiet as it would turn out. The arrangement was simple. Pick the girls up at 5 p.m. and return them by 8. By 9:15 p.m., Whitney started calling. No response. No texts. Straight to voicemail. By 9:45, she was at the sheriff's office, filing a missing persons report. The next morning, June 1st, search crews began combing the area. It was rough country, cliffs, creeks, thick trees. Still, there was a confidence. Maybe Travis's truck had broken down. Maybe they'd gotten lost. But even the seasoned deputies would later admit, something felt off from the start. By sundown, there was still no word, no signal, no sign of Travis or the girls. The following morning, everything changed. At 7:10 a.m. on June 2nd, a Chelan County search team stumbled on something deep in the woods. Travis's white Ford F-150, tucked between 2 trees, doors closed, windows cracked. Nearby, a small tent, zipped shut. Just 400 meters away, they found them. 3 small bodies, side by side, wrapped in sleeping bags. The officers froze. Even hardened search and rescue teams broke down. Peyton, Evelyn, Olivia. No signs of struggle. No signs of violence. Just silence. And then came the question that would haunt investigators for weeks. Where is Travis Decker? His truck was there. His gear was there. His phone? Left behind. But the man himself? Vanished. Gone. Without a single trace. June 2nd, 2025, 7:10 a.m. A quiet piece of wilderness about to become the center of a national tragedy. Search crews had been walking the forest since the early hours. Most were volunteers. Some knew Travis, some knew Whitney, and some knew the girls. But no one was prepared for what they would find. Tucked away between thick pines, Travis's white Ford F-150 sat idle. Its windows slightly down, the keys still in the ignition. Inside, an open pack of granola bars, a water bottle, and a half-finished notebook that would raise more questions than answers. Next to the truck, a 2-man tent. Plain, neatly zipped, like someone had just packed it for a family picnic. But it was what lay beyond the tent, just 400 meters deeper into the woods, that stopped them cold. The girls were found side by side, wrapped in their sleeping bags. No bruises, no injuries, no blood, just stillness. The autopsy would later confirm the cause: suffocation. Not an accident, not exposure. Someone had smothered them, and someone had placed them there, as if laying them down for one final rest. The moment the news broke, everything changed. Whitney collapsed at the sheriff's office when she was told. Friends who had gathered to help with the search began screaming. Officers, veterans of years in the field, reportedly cried in silence. The girls, who had left home for a short visit with their dad, would never return. And the question on everyone's mind? Where is Travis? No footprints. No signs of a struggle. No dragging marks near the campsite. It was as if Travis had walked into the forest and disappeared. His cell phone was found inside the truck. Battery drained. Call logs, normal. No recent messages. His wallet? Left behind along with his military dog tags. Nothing about the scene suggested chaos. In fact, it was disturbingly organized, as if this had been a planned. Law enforcement launched a full-scale manhunt. Helicopters buzzed overhead. Dogs were brought in. Search grids expanded to 15 square miles. The community rallied, but the deeper they looked, the less they found. Travis Decker had vanished like a ghost. If you've made it this far, you're probably just as shocked as we are. This story is only getting darker and more twisted. So make sure you subscribe now, hit the bell, and stay locked in. Because what we uncover next will change how you see Travis forever. As investigators scoured the campground for clues, one of the search team members made a chilling observation. There was no sign of panic, no rush, no violence. It was quiet. Too quiet. That's when they found it. Hidden beneath a pile of moss, behind a rock not far from the girls' bodies. A length of nylon rope. Frayed. Cut. Used. What really happened to Travis Decker? Did he run? Was he planning this for weeks? Or is someone else out there? By the time the sun had fully risen over Rock Island Campground, one thing was clear. The girls were gone. And so was their father. Travis Decker wasn't just any father. He was a decorated Army infantryman, a veteran of 2 deployments to Afghanistan. In photos he looked strong, buzz-cut, square jaw, the posture of someone who had once stood in uniform for hours at a time. But behind the sharp salute and the military medals, something was unraveling. According to court records, Travis had been struggling with PTSD. His former unit confirmed he had seen prolonged combat exposure. A Veterans Affairs report from 2023 revealed he had attended at least 2 inpatient programs and left both early. Family members later admitted Travis had changed. Not violent, but distant, withdrawn, occasionally paranoid. In January 2025, his marriage to Whitney officially ended after a year-long separation. The court granted shared custody, but tensions ran high. Whitney, concerned about his mental state, pushed for supervised visits. Travis resisted. In March, he allegedly sent her a late-night message that read, "You'll regret keeping them from me." It didn't qualify as a threat, but now it reads differently. Authorities went through Travis's home, vehicle history, email records. They discovered something strange. Over the past 2 months, Travis had researched off-grid living, how to disappear in the woods, and survival shelters in eastern Washington. One article saved in his browser history was titled, "How long can you survive in the Cascades?" Then came the autopsy reports. The cause of death was confirmed: suffocation. Each of the girls had injuries consistent with being smothered, but there were no defensive wounds. No signs of a struggle. Experts believed it happened while they slept. If this story is gripping you, you're not alone. Thousands are still asking what really happened out there in those woods. So do us a favor, subscribe, turn on notifications, and help us uncover the truth. We're just getting started. Meanwhile, the manhunt was intensifying. Multiple law enforcement agencies, including U.S. Marshals, were now involved. Over 12 square miles of wilderness were being combed, including nearby rivers, caves, and hiking trails. But with each passing day, the leads grew colder, until one man came forward. A former military buddy of Travis's. He told investigators that just 2 weeks before the tragedy, Travis had asked him a question. How far do you think a man can go before nobody ever finds him? Investigators were now faced with 3 possible paths. 1. Travis killed the girls, then took his own life, but his body has yet to be found. 2. He planned the murders and disappeared, blending into the wild. 3. He didn't act alone, and someone else helped him vanish. Each theory raised more questions than answers. Why was the crime scene so clean? Why no sign of struggle? And how does a man just vanish, without leaving even a single footprint? Then, 5 days after the discovery, something unexpected happened. A park ranger 14 miles away from the original scene radioed in. "I've got a man's boot print. It's fresh. And it matches the type worn by U.S. military personnel." The direction it was heading? Deeper into the wilderness. The girls were gone. Travis was missing. And the entire country was watching. But it's what investigators found next, just off the trail, that made this case even more disturbing. It was the rope that raised the first alarm. Rough, green nylon, partially buried under moss, looped and frayed on both ends. A knot still tied at the center with strands torn. It looked like it had been used, and then cut. The coroner's report confirmed what many feared. The girls had likely been smothered using cloth or hands, but this rope? It suggested something more deliberate, something planned. Authorities now suspected Travis may have restrained the girls while they slept, to prevent struggle. But the crime scene didn't stop there. Search dogs had initially traced Travis's scent just past the tent, but the trail abruptly disappeared near the edge of a steep ravine. Below, a fast-moving creek. No broken branches. No torn clothing. Nothing to suggest a fall. One tracker described it as, like he floated away. So they widened the search grid, up the ridge, across logging trails and into old mining territory. Then came another find, 3 girls' tablets all wiped clean. No photos. No messages. No browsing history. Just factory reset black screens. Investigators suspect they were wiped between 8:10 and 8:15 p.m. on the night of the visit, suggesting the girls may have already been dead, or close to it. Who wipes tablets in the middle of a camping trip? Who prepares for that? As investigators tried to recreate Travis's steps, they made a troubling discovery. A trail camera about 0.8 miles from the tent, meant to capture wildlife, had picked up movement at 11:47 p.m. on May 30th. A blurry figure. Medium build. Backpack. Walking away from the site. The footage was grainy. No face. No ID. But one thing stood out. The man was holding what looked like a walkie-talkie. And Travis wasn't known to carry one. Brain internet sleuths jumped in quickly. Reddit threads exploded with theories. He planned this like a mission. He's off-grid. This is a mental break. PTSD. He snapped. What if someone else did this and made it look like Travis ran? Some even believed Travis was already dead, and someone staged the campsite. Others went darker. Maybe he was helped by someone who wanted him gone. And just when it seemed the trail had gone cold, the sheriff's office received an anonymous voicemail. A muffled voice. Possibly using a voice modulator. Only one sentence was recorded. "You're looking in the wrong place. He's not running, he's waiting." The call was placed from a burner phone traced to a gas station in Yakima, 75 miles away. By the time police got there, the phone was gone. Someone was watching. Someone knew. And if Travis Decker was still alive, he might not be alone. What were Travis's real intentions? Was this revenge? A breakdown? Or a disappearance plotted months in advance? And most chilling of all, what if this wasn't the first time he tried to vanish? Travis Decker didn't just disappear. He dissolved into the forest, into silence, into speculation. What began as a custody visit became a calculated vanishing act. But was this the desperate spiral of a broken man? Or the final mission of a soldier who knew exactly how to disappear? Theory 1. Filicide, suicide gone wrong. Law enforcement's leading theory is heartbreaking and horrifying. Travis planned to take the girls' lives, and then take his own. He brought them deep into the forest, waited for nightfall, smothered them, perhaps while they slept, using blankets or his hands. Then, maybe consumed by guilt, fear, or darkness, he stepped into the creek to end his life. But if so, where's his body? Despite search dogs, drones, sonar, and trackers, nothing has been found, not even a boot. Could he really have died and left zero trace? Theory 2. Mental break, cold execution. Some experts say Travis's behavior matches what's known as a dissociative break. Triggered by trauma, custody battles, and isolation, he may have experienced a psychotic episode, one that left him detached, robotic, Deadly. The clean tent. The wiped tablets. The calm layout of the girls' bodies. This wasn't rage. This wasn't chaos. This felt methodical. Theory 3, escape plan. Months in the making. But then comes the darkest theory of all. What if Travis never intended to die? What if he planned everything? Investigators uncovered browser searches going back 8 weeks. How to vanish without a trace. How to live off-grid in Washington. Disappear in National Forest. One document saved to his laptop, a hand-drawn map of the Cascade Range. He had also recently purchased water purifiers, survival gear, and a military-grade sleeping bag, none of which were found at the scene. This wasn't a man running blindly into the woods. This was someone with a blueprint. So what really happened? Which version is true? And most terrifying of all, what if we never know? If this story has left you speechless, you're not alone. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the moment there's a break in this case, we'll be the first to bring it to you. And don't keep this story to yourself. Share it, because somewhere out there, someone knows something. As of today, Travis Decker is still missing. There have been no verified sightings, no confirmed communications, and no traceable footprints since June 2, 2025. The $50,000 reward remains on the table. Whitney Decker, mother of the 3 girls, issued a final statement just 1 month ago. If he's alive, I want him found. Dead or alive. I need answers. My girls deserve that. This wasn't just a tragedy. It was a message. And the man who sent it may still be out there, waiting. It's been nearly a month since 3 innocent girls were found lifeless in a Washington forest, and the man who took them, their father, is still missing. Or is he? The investigation has taken a sharp turn. Blood samples collected from Travis Decker's vehicle have now been conclusively matched to him. 2 bloody handprints, smeared across the inside of his truck, left no room for doubt. Investigators have confirmed there was no one else involved. No signs of a struggle with an outsider. No third-party DNA. This was Travis. Alone. The horror didn't end there. Forensic examiners have officially revealed the method used to take the girls' lives. Plastic bags. Zip ties. Each girl was smothered with a bag pulled tight and sealed at the neck. There was no sign of a fight. No resistance. Experts say they were likely asleep. Peaceful. Until they weren't. This wasn't a panic. It wasn't a snap decision. It was planned. Every step calculated. Then came the digital trail. Investigators pored through Travis's online history and found a disturbing pattern. Weeks before the tragedy, he'd searched for off-grid cabins, how to cross into Canada without ID, and survival gear reviews. He'd read articles about how to disappear in the Cascades. He studied topographic maps and even visited forums discussing how to evade search teams. And here's what chills law enforcement the most. The campground where he brought the girls, it wasn't just remote. It was positioned near a trailhead that connects directly to the Pacific Crest Trail, which leads straight into Canada. It's the same route survivalists used to vanish from society. And it's still open. But is Travis really out there? Despite intensive search efforts, helicopters, drones, dogs, human trackers, there has been no trace of him. No belongings. No sightings. No footprints. It's like he vanished into the trees. Some believe he may have succumbed to the elements, wild terrain, freezing temperatures, fatigue. Others believe he's alive, hiding and watching. Authorities have now changed tactics. Instead of searching blindly, they've released altered photos of what Travis might look like now. Short hair. Long beard. No beard. He could be living in disguise, blending into a small town, or surviving in a forest outpost. Posters have gone up in rural cabins, supply stores, and remote ranger stations. But still nothing. Then came the emotional turning point. Whitney Decker, the girl's mother, broke her silence. Her voice cracked as she described each daughter. Peyton, bright and artistic. Evelyn, kind and curious. Olivia, still full of toddler laughter. She said they were her world. That she had warned the system. That she begged them to reconsider unsupervised visitation. Her final words echoed like thunder. If he's alive, I want him found. Dead or alive. I need answers. The community gathered in their memory. Nearly 1,000 residents showed up at a candlelight vigil. Handwritten notes lined the steps of the city hall. Toy unicorns, framed photos. People cried. Strangers hugged. And everywhere one question kept surfacing. Why? Why would a father do this? Was it mental illness? Was it vengeance? Was it a final act of control? And above all, where is he now? Because until Travis Decker is found, in flesh or in memory, this case remains unfinished. And so we wait. We wait for a flash of movement on a trail camera, a hiker's report, a misplaced item in the woods, or perhaps a body. But as of now, the only thing we know is this. Travis Decker vanished into the wilderness, and he took the truth with him.